Sound of Faith began as a worship band for Mount Olivet United Methodist Church. And they were looking at starting a contemporary service and just asked for folks who wanted to play instruments or sing to start getting together to practice, to see who was interested and see how it would come about. And the first night that everyone came together to practice, I hadn't really planned to be there. I was with Michael because my car was getting the oil changed.
And she gave me a ride.
I just thought I would tag along.
Okay, I gave you a ride to my practice then.
Because I really hadn't planned to come. I said okay, so I just rode with him and came to practice. And I'm still a lead singer 11 years later, 10 years later. So we started practicing that night and started playing monthly for the church, and just kind of went from there.
Yeah, so we started out basically with a lot of praise and worship music. Very rarely had an electric guitar in it. It was all acoustic guitar.
Electronic drums.
Sometimes, yeah. Some electronic drums, some acoustic drums, playing in a choir loft at the church. And as time went on, we kept playing. They eventually got...
But we had singers.
Oh, yeah. So imagine this. So you got the back line where you've got me and Sean and Wayne, who was our original drummer. And then at times we had 5 or 6 singers all standing across the front of the stage. And it was like having a choir with a backup band. I mean, that's what it seemed like at times. So, so we did that for a while. We did that for about 1.5 years at Mount Olivet. And while we were doing that, we had some opportunities to go and play at some other churches as well. We had a big youth rally at our church and had a lot of local churches come, and we were part of that. They saw us play, and we got invited to a lot of those churches to go and play at other youth services and other kind of extracurricular things they were doing with their churches. And that just kind of opened up another door for us to go and start playing other places, doing other things. And then we realized that God wasn't done with us when the church service ended, so we just kept doing it and have just kind of evolved and grown and changed from there.
I was trying to think of some of the places we played. We played the Speedway, played at least 3 places in North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
We've played near Asheville. We played in Johnson City, Tennessee. Sanford.
Mm-hmm. South Carolina, Lancaster, Fort Mill, a lot of places down there. So we've covered like 3 or 4 states. So me and Jennifer and Sean were part of the original band, and then we had Joe join us in, what year was it? 2009, I think.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was 2009. So Joe, what do you remember about joining the band?
Being the new guy and being apprehensive and wondering what these people were all about, what this gig was going to be all about.
And you were the new guy up until recently.
Yep.
You're welcome.
And mostly wondering what it was going to be like to jam without a guitar amp. And a bass guitar amp.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Guitar straight through the PA was something different for me.
Yeah. Well, and you had said that you had really never played in a band that had keyboard or backup singers or any of that kind of stuff too, right? I mean,
Yep.
Your experiences have been more just 4-piece rock band for the most part, right?
Yep.
Well, and one interesting thing that you said that you weren't the first person to say, because we had several replacements and stuff come and go, but when we're looking for somebody to join the band, it's not bring your instrument over and play. It's let's meet at a coffee house and let's talk, because we're more interested in the person than the instrumentation. It's important, but we had to get that chemistry feel first.
We surprised quite a few people in the interview process with that, because they thought we'd rather listen to their audition tapes or play their audition
MP3s.
MP3s.
Yeah. And that was all that we needed, and we didn't really need to get to know who they were. But it's been really important for us to meet and get to know folks that could potentially become a part of this group, because we feel really strongly about our mission and want to make sure first of all, that we have the right person with the right heart for what we're doing, and then the musicality and the ability is, going to be there and would work on it if it weren't, but it's more important to us to have what's inside, have the heart for it, than to specifically be the best instrumentalist or vocalist that we could be.
Well, and I
Although
think,
we work on improving that together, but
and I think that's part of why we've stayed together for 10 years at this point. I mean, we've had, some people that have left and other people that have joined, and I'm really thankful for everybody that's part of this band now. I mean, I feel like we're as good, if not better, than we've ever been. But we've had a lot of great people that have been in this band that, in the past, that for various reasons have moved on to do other things, and we love every one of them, and we're very thankful for everybody that's been in the band. So Kayla, you've been in the band less than a year.
Yeah. More than a year.
Has it?
Yeah, it was the beginning of August.
Oh, so
It's
yeah.
July, beginning of
Oh,
August.
okay, yeah. I keep thinking it was like
So
fall.
happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary. I'm so sorry.
don't you feel ashamed?
I do feel ashamed. I'm turning red.
It means so much to
Glad
us
I
that
didn't
you joined, but we don't remember when you did.
Well, if you haven't had the RC Cola and the moon pie, you're not really eating.
So it's
She had.
I thought I already talked to him about it. Was he going to do it? Oh, okay. I was trying to think how many loads he got left.
Okay, so we were talking with Kayla about
So
the fact that she's been in the band a year now.
Yep.
Over a year, even.
Yep. We've been over. No, I first heard about Sound of Faith when actually Vicky Ford came to a birthday party of mine last year, and one of my previous worship ministers had said, was making a joke, cracking a joke, was like, Vicky, I've heard that you have the voice of faith. You have the sound of faith. And she just kind of laughed, and I thought, oh, that's so sweet. I didn't realize it was a joke. But I asked Vicky about it later because I had been mentioning to my choir teacher, who was also there, that I wanted to get involved in something that I was missing, being a part of a group, much like I was in my high school choir. And Vicky overheard, and she was like, Sound of Faith is actually a band. I was like, oh, okay. She started telling me a little bit about it, and then she put me in contact with Jen. We met at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And hit it off from there.
Yeah, we had an opening because Tasha, who had been with us really since we had started on and off, was headed off to graduate school, and we needed somebody that could play keyboard and sing, and Kayla came right in, and it was funny because we had actually been looking for somebody for a while, and Tasha had always been like, I'm gonna stick with you guys until you can find somebody, but school starts in August, and and we were starting to push the envelope a little bit because we just hadn't found the right person yet, and then Kayla
Right on
kind
time.
of dropped in our laps, right on time, like she
Thanks,
said.
Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First and foremost, an outlet for music. I played drums in high school. I played rhythm guitar, not very well, but my entire life, or as long as I can remember. Just basic chords, country music, that type thing. And I never had the ego for drums, in my opinion, because it was I am serious. I mean, I
I always
played
thought your head
drums.
looked a little big.
I played drums in high school, and to me, when you play drums, you have to have a good enough ego that it can take getting hurt a little bit. Because if you mess up on the drums, everybody knows you mess up. Like, you can't hide it very well. And I couldn't take that. I couldn't take being able to mess up this little bitty bit and everybody knowing it. The bass, if you're a half step off, half the people's tone deaf and they can't hear, and you're okay.
The
Nobody
other half
picks
blame
that
the
up.
lead guitarist.
And the other half, yeah, exactly. So you can hide stuff a little better. But from a musical standpoint, it's an outlet for that creativity. The actual band, as we've said, and I'm sure everybody else will echo, it's a family. It started off with relationships, and it's it's never been about the music. The music is part of it, but it's more about the relationships and the families and the friendships and the struggles that we all go through. And we always pray in and pray out, and we pray for each other, and that's the main thing that band means to me. Getting to play in front of crowds at gigs is, it's like icing on the cake, but it's the other stuff, the day in and day out practices twice a week that's the most important for me.
Yeah, it's almost like a little bit of an oasis to me because, with she and I and 3 kids and work and everything else that's going on, just knowing that we're going to spend this time together, we're going to be playing music, there's going to be some worship involved, there's going to be some just being with your friends and just hanging out and having a good time and laughing together and, doing the things that, you just taking time to be friends for a while and not having to fulfill all the other roles in your life. That's so important to me, and I'm so grateful that we get to do this and we've done it for this long.
Yeah, for me, it's never really been. I didn't join the band because I loved the music so much. Christian music is what I love to listen to. I wanted good, positive relationships in my life, and that when I started the band a year ago, that's what I needed. I needed just a good, solid people who knew Christ, who were not perfect, but at least continuing to work on their relationship with Him. So it's always been just about the relationships and the music. It had been a long time since I had really played keyboard steadily, so I've loved getting to have set time at least twice a week to where I have to learn or I have to play. It's just a good, musically, it gets my brain going, and it helps just kind of practice a little bit. But it's the relationships as well that really mean the most to me.
Joe, Jennifer?
I would say I'm a lot like Sean. It's a great musical outlet. And I'm also like Kayla. I wanted to be in a band where I could play drums because I just love to play drums, first and foremost. That's probably the center point of it all, is I just love to play drums. And I wanted to do it with a group of people that were Christ-centered. And I had never been in a Christian band before, and felt a bit remiss for not having ever given that a thought even. And before I joined this band, I had decided that was going to be my next move sometime before I joined the band. I'm ready to join a Christian band for a while, and because I wanted to try to give something back to God that He gave me that I love to do, and try to give it back.
That's
some
awesome.
way.
I remember you saying that when we were first talking to you about this, and that really stuck with me. That's just to recognize that, and that be your foremost goal. That's really cool.
Well, as I mentioned, when I unintentionally joined the first night's practice, I didn't really come into it expecting to be the lead singer and expecting to be the one out in front. And it was a very challenging place for me to be. The first probably year that we did the services, I would have to write down every single word that I was going to say outside of singing the songs. And every single word, because I was so nervous that I couldn't think about that when we were up in front and we were playing. And I think God knew what He was doing in that He made me do that so that I could get comfortable being in front of people and being a voice and speaking or letting Him speak through me. Because now, when we go and play places, I have an idea of what I need to say, but I don't have to get very specific with it ahead of time because I feel comfortable, and I also pray and trust that He gives me the words that He wants me to speak. But that whole comfort level was not there before, and it's really been something for me that has grown, and also my faith, because I didn't I knew the hymns from church, but I didn't listen to a lot of Christian music on the radio when we started. And in fact, I had to learn most of the praise and worship songs because I didn't know them. So that was a learning experience for me as well, and it's just been a real big growing part of my faith. Mike and I didn't have kids when we started in the band, and our first son, I was on bed rest, and we had other folks step up and helped to sing during that time when I couldn't do it. And 3.5 years after that point, we found out we were having twins. And one night, Mike and I were talking about it, and we said, how is this going to work? How are we going to be able to keep doing this ministry?
I didn't think we could.
How are we going to be able to keep doing this ministry with 2 more kids? And 3 total. And just, how in the world is that going to work? And I said, I don't know. I know that if God wants it to work, it'll work. I don't know how, but I have faith that if it's meant to work out, and if we're meant to keep doing this, it'll work out.
We thought we were going to have to turn the bass drums into bassinets, but we weren't real sure about that stuff.
You missed your chance to get double bass. But anyway, it worked out. You know, we've always found a way. There's been a way. He's made a way. You know, so it's been, the band for me has been a place of growth and a place for my faith to really strengthen. And like Sean said, that we're just a real big family.
I really just hope people enjoy it, to be honest. If people get something more than that, that's great. If some people, you know, hear the words and get some special meaning out of it, that's good. That's, you know, why I joined the Christian band, was so that there could be some meaning behind what I was doing. But for the most part, I just hope people enjoy it and have fun. First and foremost, have a good time listening.
I want people to see people passionate about what they're doing. Not necessarily they see that it's scripted each time, or that they see that we've been practicing the set for how many months, but that they see passion, and they see that come through Christ, through the reason that we're doing this. If they get something out of the lyrics, if they get something from a story that's shared in between songs, I at least want them to connect, whether it be through the music or through the fact that one of the audience members is a bass player, so they want to talk to Sean afterwards. Whether if there's a relationship made or that they connect with the music in some way, that's what I want. That's what I want for people to get out of it. It's just seeing the passion, but then also just enjoying it as well.
I like making positive music. You know, I mean, there's so much rock today that is just so focused on sex and drugs and wanting to fight. I mean, there's just so many things, so many negative emotions that are out there, and I love being able to go and play music, but play it about, you know, about good things, about mending relationships, about, you know, turning your life around and making things better. And I want people to hear that. You know, I want people to hear that, you know, not the whole world's not going down the toilet. You know, there are things that you can do. There is hope. There is love. There is things that are out there that, you know, that you can look forward to.
Ride
So-
and really climbing a hill or
Right.
something like that. When I'm done, I realize that I've slid about that far forward on the seat, and I have to sit back. So constantly I'll be riding and riding and riding, and I'll go forward and then go like that. And he said, well, that's your body naturally knowing that the more it can get the femur over the pedal,
And for me, what our music means to me, what I hope people get out of our music, is I hope that if they already are hearing Christ in their life, they're encouraged and they say, oh cool, this is a band that plays music that I can believe in, that it's okay for me to listen to because it's uplifting and it fits the message I'm trying to live in my life. And then for folks that haven't heard about him or don't want to or rejecting the church in their life, I hope that we get in through some little crack or some little chink, and that a part of the message gets through enough to make them wonder and to start asking questions and to think about whether they can really open up or not, and just take that first step of asking questions or just opening their heart or opening their ears a little more. So that's what I hope people get from our music.
Well, the two things for me, we kind of said one, but the saying that we've said for years is when we go play somewhere, as long as one person hears it, that's who God had us there for. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people in the room, 100 people in the room. If one person is moved, it was worth it. So that's one of the things that we've always said. The other thing, and it's along the same lines of what y'all are saying, but Third Day was my crossover band. When I first met my wife, before she was my wife, she listened to Christian music. I listened to classic rock and metal at the time, and I didn't want to listen to Christian music. Some of it was okay, but it wasn't something I was going to hear, have playing in the car with the windows down, pulling up at a stop sign or something like that. And seriously, I'm just being honest, and that's the way it was. And then all of a sudden, Third Day came on the scene with their first album, and I'm like, this is awesome. And so I started listening to Third Day and have followed them all through, their career. But that was my gateway, because once I started listening to Third Day, well, then I started listening to, other bands, and, ended up being a real big Casting Crowns fan when they came out, and Building 429, and, some of the other ones. I really did like Jesus Freak. DC Talk. I did like DC Talk back in the day. So, that's. I hope that we can be that way too.
And it's a very powerful and a very humbling experience when you realize that God is using you to reach people. I think we don't always get to know that. We don't always get to know when someone's been touched by it or when someone has felt something in their heart. The first time for me that I remember, it blew my mind, and it was just amazing. And I thank God for that experience. But there's a song off of our previous CD called Angie, and when we wrote the song, we weren't thinking of anyone in particular. We went on a retreat together as a family with our extended families when we wrote that song together, and it's about a woman who's having a tough time in her life, and she's got to make some choices, and she doesn't like what she's seeing, and it's just a real encouraging song, but talks about, that rough time and the fact that you don't have to give up. And we played that song at Crossfire United Methodist Church when it was probably 2005 or 2006. And after we played that song, I had a lady come up to me and say, "My name is Angie, and I need the words to that song." And my heart stopped, and it just was the most awe-inspiring moment. And the feeling of humility that I get from that this is how we serve, and this is how we serve God, is by reaching out to people, and that what we do can really touch someone in a way that changes their life. And that's just an amazing experience to be a part of.
Well, that's still got one of my favorite lines too, that it's my brother Scott, who sang with us for a while and runs sound for us. Of all your dreams, which one is this? And that's just, if you think about a young person growing up having all these dreams of, at a certain age they're going to be a princess, and whatever, they're going to be this or they're going to be this. A young girl, because the song's Angie, young girl,
When Sean was a young girl.
she ends up with struggles and problems and everything, and the line of all your dreams, which one was this? That's so powerful to me.
Gotcha. I like it that the songs feel more lively to me than some that we've done in the past. Lively probably isn't the best way to describe, but I think we have more bluesy rock or more rock, and then we have a little jazzy on there, but I like the way that we stretched ourselves, and I like the messages that we have in our songs, and they don't all say the very same thing. They all have positive messages, and we hope that they'll reach people in different ways. But it's not your typical, single theme CD, but everything's a positive message, and we've grown in our songwriting and our music, and I love it. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, we actually recorded more than we're planning to use, and we're trying to narrow everything down, figure everything out, but hopefully we're going to have some things that we can do with the other music that doesn't make the CD. I don't know.
Well, I think compared to the other two CDs, it's great because I use more than one string.
And that's saying a lot for you, Sean. We're so proud of you. I actually saw an advertisement for a one-string bass the other day.
That's all you need if you know what you're doing. It's all technique.
And this, of course, is the first CD that we've had that's had Joe and Kayla on it. They weren't with us when we recorded Rescue Me. So, what do y'all think about your experiences in recording and everything that we've done for this CD?
I thoroughly enjoyed recording and writing drum parts, figuring out drum parts. The recording process was a lot of fun. Did some things that I intentionally tried to do that turned out pretty good. And very, very happy that I was able to put a double bass drum fill on the slowest song of the CD.
That's true.
Is this the part where we talk about the 50 takes it took you on that one song?
Yep.
For me, it's been the first CD I've truly recorded, other than just makeshift stuff that you do just to hear yourself. It's the first CD that I've actually truly been a part of, and it's been a learning experience. You've got just an intimate setting where nobody is there, just you and then Mike, who's doing sound, and you feel so, at some point you feel like completely free to do what you want, and then at another point you're like, Mike gets to see absolutely everything. So but it's been a blast. I mean, when I first joined, you guys had recorded just a little bit already.
Yeah,
you guys had already started, so, and that was a learning curve, but it's been a blast.
Yeah, and just the whole process. I mean, I did this for our first, I guess, EP you could call it, and then Rescue Me, and I think I've learned a lot from those processes and recording those things. That getting into this now, I think things have went a lot smoother than they did in the past. I feel like our songwriting itself, I really love the songs that we've written. I think that we've arranged them well. I'm really excited about this stuff. So, I can't wait to be able to share that. We're really close. We've already played a lot of these songs live, and we're really close to having the project finished. So.
I was really, really proud of I was really, really proud of the first CD, and then I think we made leaps and bounds to the second CD, and I'm really proud of it. And then I feel the same way. I just feel like each one has just been, successfully better as a whole. Not any one person, not any songwriting or anything like that, just in general, just learning and getting better. So.
The time Mike wore the balloon hat.
Or what about the time that we're practicing in Jennifer's upstairs in the recliner with a headset on?
Yeah, why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, the second time I was on bed rest was with the twins, and that was 2 or 3 months of bed rest. So instead of having to not be involved with the band, because we were in the process of practicing and writing music at the time, we put a baby monitor down here in the practice room, and I had the other end of the monitor upstairs where I was lying down on the couch, and I had a wireless headset microphone. So I could lay on the couch and sing with everybody, and I could hear them through the baby monitor, and they could hear me because I was coming in on the sound system. So we did that for
a while.
several months.
Yeah.
And it worked better than you would ever
Yeah.
believe.
To me, it's no different than recording in different rooms.
There you go.
And not being able to see each other. You just have the headphones. One of the ones I remember, and I can't remember exactly how the guy said it, but the first gig that we ever played outside of Mount Olivet was at his mother and
That don't light you
stepfather's
fire
church.
than you woods wet.
Vision Baptist Church.
Yep, and a good Southern preacher,
Trooper Ferguson.
very loud, very boisterous, and he played. It was either guitar or bantar,
Acoustic guitar.
acoustic
yeah.
guitar, and he wanted to play something with us, and I don't know what it was, but he asked if we knew the chords, and a couple of us are like, no, we don't know the chords. And he's like, send the key of G, boys, jump in and hold on, here we go. And we started playing. It was like, all right, let's play. I have no idea how it sounded, but that was the way it was.
How about the trailer that we played on that we had to be careful where we stepped?
Yeah, that
The
was
holes in
fun.
it.
We had a flatbed trailer that we played on for a youth concert at a
Denton Farm Park.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
and the flatbed had been outside for most of the year and was covered with plywood. Not very strong plywood. So we
Rotted plywood.
Rotted plywood.
Yeah.
So we played and we had a great time, put on a great show. We just had to put some things over the areas that we
Don't
couldn't
step
on
there.
because we would have went through the stage. That would have.
played on a lot of flatbeds though.
Oh yeah.
I guess because I'm the newest, I don't have a whole lot of gig stories just yet. The only gig that I can think about where something didn't go quite as planned was when Joe hurt his arm
Oh.
during the second song.
How's your arm feeling these days, Joe?
It's good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Whoops.
Yeah. So,
Well, then there was the time when we played at the bar for the Battle of the Bands, and just as we get set up on stage to play, the amp goes out.
Oh,
Yeah. The amp quit working.
Mike's amp quit.
Yeah.
Broke.
Problem in the head.
Done.
Yeah. So luckily I had my super duper pedal board and made it happen only after I panicked just a lot.
One of the coolest things
good
that
thing we were playing at a bar that night.
one of the coolest things that I don't know if people know, but we were playing at the end one night, and during the last song, my brother's cranking everything up and turning everything up, and we get literally right to the end of the song. It's like da 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 da, and all of a sudden everything goes off. We blew the fuse, we blew the circuit breaker, but it was almost like it was timed. It was
It
perfect.
was at the very end of the last
Yes.
song.
It was just part of the show.
Yep.
That's all.
So we literally shut the lights out.
As far as the band goes, I don't know. As far as the band, I want to see us playing more. If we're wanting to be a crossover band, playing more places that don't have a high volume of Christian people, in bars and stuff like that. Sometimes you can feel like, yes, Christian people need to hear Christian lyrics and it's encouraging, but sometimes the people that need to hear it the most are people that don't have means to hear it unless they're forced to hear it when they're sitting at a bar, which just happens to be the band that's playing that night. So I'd like to see us playing in more venues than just youth groups and churches and stuff like that. That's what I see.
I'd really like to be able to, I mean, we're going to get the CD wrapped up. We hadn't even come up with the title yet, but I think we're going to have a lot of things that are going to come out in the next few months. You know, we're going to have new music. We're going to, you know, we're playing our 10th anniversary here at the end. We've got another event that we're playing in November in Troy. I think we're going to have a lot of really cool stuff going on in 2014. I'm really excited about, you know, being able to take that new music and get it out on the internet radio, getting it out, you know, through every channel we can.
Just a thank you to everyone who supported us through all of the years. We've had folks that we've been blessed with that have come in and out of our lives, and we're right there when we needed them. And we thank you so much. and we're glad that you let us continue to be a part of your lives as well. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the hoots and hollers and
Woo!
just being there to do this with us, to do this ministry with us. Thank you.
Thank you. All done?
Good night, everybody.
I would like to extend a special thanks to Mr. Scott Gardner for being there to run sound for us all the time.
Yeah.
It's been a huge help.
We've had a lot of people that have been involved with this band, even if they haven't been behind a microphone or behind an instrument. And Scott, obviously, Bill Nix, who ran sound for us for a while and was basically a roadie for us for quite some time. We've had Rachel Ford, who's come even when she wasn't with the band anymore, and spoke at events and was able to share a message with the people that were there even when she wasn't a part of the band. We've had a number of people that have just been willing to help out and do other things. And then there's, of course, all the people that have been with microphones in their hands in the past. And, there's almost too many for us to name, and I'm afraid I would miss somebody because when we were a praise and worship band, we really had a lot of different people that were involved. But, that it's just been wonderful, all the support that we've had through the years. So thank you to all those people.